don't seem to know what you got till it's gone, because they paved paradise and put up a parking lot. But ain't it kind of funny? Ain't it kind of funny how karma seems to always come on back around every once in a while? And what happens when all these wonderful, large, sprawling corporate enterprise parking lots that we just spent the last 80 odd years building and filling on up, what happens when they all start looking like this? What happens when we really do give the concrete jungle back to nature? What happens? What are we to do? What are we to do with all this, huh? I don't know. Do you know? Because I'm telling you, this is no longer an if, but a when. Now, it has been a common quip for some time, in fact, that eventually Jeff Bezos will replace all of the box stackers with little Roomba robots that do all the box stacking for them, and no one will ever have to do manual labor anymore, and eventually McDonald's and 7-Eleven will replace all the cashiers with little register bots that will take everyone's order, and we'll be free from the demands and the necessities of forced manual labor. And we'll be able to live in a post-scarcity society utopia filled with free time and free expression. We'll all be able to write poetry and do art all day, and it will be absolutely exquisite and wonderful. The damning truth, however, is that reality has a funny way of expressing its irony against all of our thoughts and wishes. And so now here we are with ChatGPT. In fact, replacing the artists and the poets. Now, if we're to talk seriously on the subject for a moment, we have to acknowledge a few things. One, Jeff is still hard at work replacing all those workers with the box stacking robots. And in fact, he's been making rather large innovations in that process in recent years especially. Two, because of the innovation of artificial intelligence, it has began an exponential rise in our own scientific discovery and exploration. What this culminates in is specific advances in material science in other very key aspects. And in particular, these are areas where traditionally all this technology has been held back from. What we used to consider was stumbling blocks for the robots, for the artificial intelligence. Something like battery technology. A lithium battery can only get you so far. Well, artificial intelligence has already designed brand new exotic batteries that can last upwards of thousands of years on a single charge. The robots are building themselves, folks. And we've seen the AI itself replace the artist and the poets. But of course, the common quip, yet again, is, well, I'm a pipe layer. I'm a construction manager. I don't need to worry about my job being taken by AI. What's the AI gonna do? 3D print a home? Now, in case you missed it, and I apologize if you do, but the sad truth about that previous joke and that previous bit, and the sobering reality that we all need to start grasping onto, is that they're already 3D printing homes. That's not even new. That's something that's been around for a minute. And to plug an AI into it and have the AI do it all of its own, that's not a large leap, folks. That doesn't take much to really make happen these days anymore, okay? But it brings into bear the reality that we are all faced with. Like it or not, love it or hate it, the choice and the opinion is no longer ours. these very men, their livelihoods, their careers, everything that they strive for and do in their day, it's all being threatened right here, right now, in real time because of artificial intelligence, because of robotics. When I can start 3D printing these buildings, and when I can build servitor android automatons to do it all for me, why would I pay a human $50 an hour to do it? The thing is there is nobody who is safe. No one. We're already seeing the poets and the artists lose their jobs wholesale, and the computer doesn't even have arms yet. So when we start giving the AI android arms, well, it doesn't take much to start replacing a whole lot of other people too. So if it's all doom and gloom, and if we're all screwed, and if there's truly no hope, yet again, here we are. Why bother? Why bother? Why even put up a fight? Well, obviously the reality, the real reality, the truth of it all is the devil is in the detail. Regardless of how much this innovation decides to become as a general disruptor, and sure, I don't think anyone will be surprised when Amazon and Jeff Bezos replace all the box stackers with robots, and when Walmart replaces all the cashiers with till counting robots, and sure, maybe, I don't know, maybe Intel starts replacing all their software engineers and all their coders with little AI coders. You know, Devin? Yeah, you know. If you know, you know. But there will always be holdouts too. The beauty of humanity is that just because there is a good way, just because there's a min-maxed way, just because there's a meta, doesn't mean we all subscribe to it. Doesn't mean we all adhere to it. Perfect example, right here, right now, in the general economy itself, mom and pop shops. Late stage capitalism has proven that gone are the days of small entrepreneurship and meaningful, soulful business. The most successful entrepreneurs out there, the most successful economic standards are these massive, giant, soulless machines that monolithically move through the sphere. So, why bother? Why does the mom and pop bother? Why do they continue to own their laundromats? Why do they continue to open up diners? Why do they continue to, set up their little fruit stands and do their entrepreneur thing? Because we as humans, we never subscribe to one singular channel. And therein lies the beauty of it. And this also gets back to what I've been saying. So, to answer that article's question, whose job is really safe from the AI? Well, it's rather simple if you ask me. It's the ones who refuse to back down. It's the ones who refuse to give up. And if you've listened to my previous talks, you'll know it's the idiots with a good idea. So, how do we get out here today? How do we get out and become idiots with good ideas? Because that's the real question you and I should be asking ourselves. We don't need to become Elon Musk. We don't need to become Jeff Bezos. We don't need to start multi-billion-dollar soulless monolithic corporations. Unless you want to. That's up to you. That's the beauty of it, right? But all you really got to do is just get out here and be an idiot with a good idea. So, the discussion for today. How are you going to keep yourself safe from AI? What are your plans moving forward? What are your thoughts on this whole thing in general? Do you plan on getting out here and being an idiot with a good idea? Do you plan on maybe starting a business soon? Have you collaborated and maybe talked with others? Considered teaming up? They always say more heads is better than none, or something along those lines. Yet again, you don't have to be a rocket scientist and you don't have to be a brain surgeon. You just have to be an idiot with a good idea. So, happy Monday. Get out here and let's all be idiots with good ideas, huh?